You step out into your garden and hear a dry rustling sound come suddenly from the tall grass. Your stomach drops immediately. You didn't even consider it. That ancient, paralyzing panic is not a choice. It is an alarm system built into your DNA to keep you alive. But the monster you are thinking of in your head right now is a total lie. The snake with the most dangerous venom on Earth has exactly 0 human kills. So what are people genuinely dying of? It all boils down to a strange psychological bug in how we measure threat. And this catastrophic mistake, which I'm going to call survival trap number 3, is one that you probably commit every single week without you recognizing it. But here is when it gets weird. When I say image a snake attack, you probably think of an aggressive, calculating assassin chasing you down a dirt path. It's got a personal grudge. We love to give wild animals human emotions. But psychologically, snakes are just incredibly anxious introverts. They do not want you. To them, you are a giant, loud, terrifying apex predator. Plus, venom takes a significant amount of physical energy to generate. Why would they squander their ultimate best survival tool on a behemoth they can't even swallow? You've been told your whole life that snakes lie in wait to intentionally ambush humans. But a bite is nearly always an unconsidered attack. Sheer, mindless panic. You see, they don't hear sound, not as we do in the air. They feel the vibrations through the earth. You walk down a hiking trail and it's as if a literal earthquake is coming. Their first instinct is to simply freeze. They only hope their concealment is good enough that you walk right by them. They only strike when that invisible boundary is totally broken. Imagine a stranger kicks in your bedroom door while you sleep and steps on your chest in the dark. You wouldn't have time for negotiations. You would blindly swing for your life. That is precisely what happens in 99% of snake bites. We step on them by accident. It is just a sad convergence of lousy timing and blind spots. If this mental shift is already clicking for you, drop a like. It really helps this reach more people. Because comprehending this leads to a rather painful fact about just where you reside. The most dangerous animals live in far-away, exotic jungles, we like to believe. We are really safe in our manicured concrete suburbs. But the real driver of the planet's deadliest encounters is human encroachment. We're tearing up thick brush and planting huge subdivisions right on top of their hunting areas. The snakes didn't get into your hood. You put your kitchen in their living room. And the ones that kill the most people around the globe are not the largest, and they are not by any means the fastest. They are the ones who have become perfectly adapted to agricultural lands and human garbage. We bring the garbage, and that brings the rats. The rodents bring in the snakes. It's a completely perfect, really deadly, ecological cycle. Take the saw-scaled viper. It's tiny. It's the color of dry dirt. And its venom is incredibly weak compared to the heavy hitters. But it kills tens of thousands of people simply because it sits right where humans labor every day with their bare hands. But what happens if you actually cross paths with a true biological anomaly? And this is the part almost nobody talks about. While most snakes play by the regular laws of camouflage and defense, there is one that entirely shatters every biological law we know. Deep in the woods of Southeast Asia resides the blue Malayan coral snake. It looks like it was painted by a neon sign maker. It features a vivid blue body and a glowing red head. But its venom? It doesn't slowly paralyze you or thin your blood like a conventional viper. It does something straight out of a horror movie. This venom doesn't turn your nervous system off to put you to sleep. It turns all of your nerves completely on. Every one of them. Suddenly. It makes your muscles spasm all throughout your body instantly. You convulse so hard your whole body locks up. It essentially makes your own brain and nerve system a weapon against you. And for the longest period, science has zero antivenom for that. It proves that nature's got a wild card up her sleeve. But let's come back down to earth. Imagine if the very worst thing that could happen to you happened in your own backyard. You step off the patio, hear the hiss too late, and feel a sharp burn on your ankle. What your mind tells you to do in the next 60 seconds will actually determine whether or not you survive the day. Quick question. Have you ever thought to yourself that you should suck the venom out of a snake bite? Let me know below. And this leads us to catastrophic survival trap number 3. Remember I said at the beginning of this video, the big mistake. Panic and do what you see in the movies, and you are sealing your own fate. You may think you have to cut your belt off and tie a tourniquet on your leg to stop the spread, or maybe get a pocket knife and cut the incision open and bleed it out. Don't ever do this. Those Hollywood hacks are not only useless, they are actively destroying your body. When you tie a tourniquet above a snake bite, you trap all of that highly concentrated tissue-destroying venom in one single place. You're not saving your heart. You're literally having the venom digest your leg. Many amputations from snake bites are due to the person using a tourniquet and destroying their own limb. And then cutting the wound? That merely leads to huge bleeding and allows a nasty infection, doing nothing to remove the poison. See, poison doesn't just sit in a small puddle waiting to be slurped out. It goes straight into your lymphatic system. It behaves just like water on an absolutely dry sponge. It is immediately absorbed. So if all the macho survival tricks are total BS, what's the real secret? It is maddeningly simple. And yet, it is the most difficult thing you can do when you are in a state of pure panic. You have to combat your own psychology. You don't have to do anything. Well, virtually nothing. Your only actual job is to keep your heart rate as low as feasible, humanely. Your muscular activity pumps your lymphatic system. If you panic and flail and run back to the car for help, you are literally pumping the poison through your own body faster. Using your pounding heart as a transport, the venom spreads. You're dying quicker than that snake did. You need to stay completely motionless, immobilize the limb completely, and get someone else to drive you to a hospital. So that, then, is the whole secret of survival. The only actual remedy on Earth is reaching anti-venom. But before you get too paranoid to ever leave the house again, let's tie up that psychological blind spot we mentioned at the beginning. We are afraid of the strange. We are afraid of the very poisonous monsters we see on television. Yet we totally ignore the humdrum truth of our own daily activities. We go across lush, uncut grass in flip-flops. We take out the trash at night without a torch. We reach wildly over rocky ledges without looking first. The world's deadliest snake is not a single species with a scary, exotic name. The most deadly serpent is the one you did not honor. What really is dangerous is human ego and a complete lack of situational awareness, meeting a scared, defensive animal. Coexistence is not about ignoring the risk. It is not about exterminating the creatures. It's about taking away the surprise factor. Wear solid boots. Mow your grass short. Watch where your hands go. Exactly. Fear is often just what occurs when you don't comprehend. That ancient primordial panic replaced with a little understanding and geographical awareness, you cease acting like prey. You realize these creatures are just trying to get through the day like yourself. If this made you see your own mind and the wild world around you differently, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you want to know why your brain actually enjoys being scared by situations like this, watch this video next.